My goodness. And there it is. Wow. Get the pin to go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gold TV for match play here at the PWBA Reno Classic from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. My name is Aaron Smith, sitting alongside Emil Williams Jr., the man, the myth, the legend himself, and we are ready today. 12 games, round-robin match play over 2 rounds to determine the top 4 for tonight's step-ladder finals right here on BowlTV.com. The first champion of the Fall Classic Series. We're already underway on the 37-foot condition, so we're going to go ahead and bring it into the action right here. Stephanie Zavala and Brianna Cote. The current 1-2 matchup is underway here at the NBS, along with 6 additional great matches, all available here on BowlTV.com. Mr. Williams, we had a high-scoring day yesterday on this 37-foot pattern, and less players on the lanes. We expect that scoring pace to continue, and we've seen 2 players kind of run away from this event so far in Cote and Zavala. Can they continue to do so here in match play and earn their spot in that step-ladder finals appearance?
Well, you know, it's interesting, Aaron, that now I talked about this yesterday with Stephanie Zavala and not being surprised anymore. And if you think about when she's really bowled well in the performances that have either resulted in titles, for example, at least one that I can recall, she often finds herself in positions to run away from the field. And here she is again with that opportunity. Same thing with Brianna Cote. She's been in this position as well before, where she can kind of run away a little bit and try to continue to build on what is a nice lead over fourth at this moment in time. But there's going to be obviously some challengers for that 4th spot right now. Diana Zavyalova holds that current spot at plus 252 with Verity Crawley in at 3rd at plus 268. And, we've got bonus pins today, obviously, and that is going to go a long way, certainly, in deciding what's going to happen in our top 4 finalists for tonight's step-ladder finals. So still much to be determined, but, you got to win matches when you get to this point, especially if you're someone in that, maybe 8 to 12 range, which is not insurmountable. It can be done, and we'll see what happens here today.
That is definitely within play here as we look at the top 12. Valerie Bercier and Misaki Bukutani tying for 11th spot, so they were the last 2 to get in at plus 198. So the number they're chasing, plus 252, so just 54 pins. And over the course of 12 games with bonus pins available, of course, 30 for the victory, 15 for a tie. If you lose your matchup, it is 0. So plenty of opportunities here for the players in the 5 to 12 section to really make a run and put themselves in position to hoist the first trophy of the Fall Classic Series.
It's a good way to start the day, too, with the top 2 right now as we open up this match play block. We get a chance to see where each are playing on the French. Each have had I think good and indifferent type experiences on the fresh as well, with Bree starting with 289 in round 1 of qualifying yesterday. Stephanie went through some troubles in game 1 in yesterday's or one of yesterday's rounds as well. Just kind of ciphering through, using urethane early yesterday, but not throwing the best shots as she told us before she was able to kind of settle in and get into rhythm.
Yeah, if you look at those first game averages, the advantage here definitely goes to.
Oh
my! You can't scare us like that this early in the morning. But you mentioned the 289 in game 1 of round 1, 233 on the fresh in round 2. In talking to Stephanie yesterday, her opening games 227 in round 1, 208 in round 2. For Stephanie, she felt confident coming into this block here this morning. The biggest concern she had was that the lanes didn't sit for quite as long in between blocks. from the fresh to the second round yesterday, and she said that kind of made him a little trickier for her than she would have liked. So she kind of had to dive into plan B, plan C in order to get back to the top of the leaderboard, and she finished strong 246, 246, 222, and 226 to take the top overall spot. So it seems like with Stephanie, once she can kind of settle in, and with what she saw yesterday, with how they opened up, she was able to get to a part of the lane that no one else was really able to. The players were all farther right of her, which in turn, gave her a spot to throw it to. She had a little bit of extra room to the right, and she's as tough as they get when she can make a big jump left as well. Still looking for that first strike.
It'll be interesting to see how she combats this. I think we may or may not get a quick update from one Curtis Von Kruger. We'll wait on that, but if he is, I think he'll be able to tell us what she elected to use from the start.
Other updates from our ongoing matches here. Once again, 12 competitors advancing from the 50-player field after 12 games and 2 rounds on the 37-foot condition yesterday. Verity Crawley starting with the front 4 against Diana Zavyalova over on 57 and 58. Stephanie Johnson, 4 out of the first 5 against Birgit Morex, holds an early advantage over on 59 and 60. Kelly Kulik, 4 out of the first 5 against Ashley Galante. A few less strikes over on 63 and 64. Daria Payuk and Sandra Gongora out of the gates. And then on 65 and 66, Valerie Brasier against Saki Mukutani. Both players with early opens so far. So once again, the format here today and for the entire Reno Classic. 12 games qualifying yesterday, top 12 advance. That's what we're at right now. We'll have 2 rounds of match play, 1 today, ongoing at the moment, and then the second one's going to start at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 local time here in Reno. And then the stepladder finals, top 4, will be bowling this evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 local time here in Reno. If you happen to be in the area, swing on by the NBS. No charge to check out the action live. Zavala showing off the spare game so far, but Cote can really open up this match here with a couple more strikes. And Emil, it does look like KVK himself is good to join us here. So let's bring him into the broadcast. There he is. Curtis Von Kruger, KVK. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Bull TV fam. How's everybody doing this morning?
We're all right. We're hanging in there.
Good. So, just kind of getting a feel for what's happening out there today. Stephanie Zavala had an interesting game plan. She started with the honey badger urethane. And then kind of she threw that all practice, and then all of a sudden made the choice to jump inside with a reactive resin bowling ball. And so I understand what her game plan was. She had struggles kind of those first couple games in relative terms. Let's keep that in perspective. She wasn't shooting 240s. So she knew that match play, you can't really get off to a slow start. You really have to be aggressive. And so she really wanted to kind of figure things out. And things could get interesting here. I don't know if you guys discussed this, but if Stephanie Zavala wins this week or this tournament, all of a sudden, I mean, she's not mathematically out of the Player of the Year race. I was talking with Jason Thomas about it, and she kind of got a break here with a lot of those top player of the year candidates not making the cut. Obviously, Verity Crawley's bowling for a lot. She's got a nice little game going here, but lots of intrigue. But I think this pretty much seals the deal for Stephanie as far as Rookie of the Year. And so, that was one of her main goals. Check out the interview we have going up on social media. She'll talk a little bit about her rookie campaign and kind of what this season has meant to her as far as trying to win that award. So lots of intrigue. We'll keep you guys updated throughout the match play round and kind of let you guys know. We got some really nice strings of strikes. Kelly Kulik's got a couple of 3-baggers. Verity Crawley with the front with 4-baggers. So I think the scores are going to continue to be high, and you don't have a lot of time to rest on your laurels. You really have to get after it.
Curtis, excellent update there, and a great point about both player and rookie of the year. We've already had some jumps happen in the player of the year race. We'll get to that in a moment. Taking a look at what we got for rookie of the year. It was really a 2-player race. Stephanie Zavala and Brianna Clemmer. Brianna missed the cut. She finished tied for 19th, so Stephanie is already increasing her advantage over Clemmer. Once again, we're getting into the mathematics of it all and actual finite numbers. Still not 100% wrapped up. Anything could happen in these last 2 events, but Stephanie Zavala is certainly putting herself in position to take home that trophy, something she's been talking about since winning her very first event of her PWBA Tour career back in May at the Greater Cleveland Open. Emil, I know you were there for that one, and that was one of the things she was very upfront about after the victory, was that that's on her list of goals for this season.
Yeah, and it wasn't just on her list of goals. She was very emphatic about achieving said goal. And so it wasn't like, yes, I would like to win Rookie of the Year. It'd be great, if I was able to accomplish that in my first year out. It was, no, I plan to win the Rookie of the Year. That's why I'm out here. And I'm wasting my time if I don't go out and achieve this. And, that was the attitude that she took, which struck me because we don't often hear that type of attitude or talk toward anyone's goal. So a lot of players are while they are very goal oriented, oftentimes they may keep the goals to themselves, so they won't kind of go or get too far ahead of themselves, if that makes sense. She was like, "Nah, this is what I worked for." I spent, unfortunately, had to spend 2020 not bowling as a professional. But she mentioned then that was probably the best thing that's happened to her, because she was able to get back in the lab and get back at it quickly, and which is part of the reason she has been so successful here in 2021. Good report there from Curtis, because you see, she has moved left, maybe a bit unexpected, but he explained it very well. Her mindset beginning on this fresh. To be honest with you, though, as long as she can remain clean, and I know the strikes aren't coming, and they probably are going to at some point in this block, I think she can be okay as long as she remains clean. And that's a very good example of what should be or could be a well-bowled professional game, even without a strike.
You really can't argue that either. It is a very professional-esque game, even though the strikes aren't covering up for spares. But Curtis mentioned the player of the year aspect of it as well. And Verity Crawley, the only player kind of in that top 7 that we kind of highlighted heading into this event, advancing to the top 12. Shannon O'Keefe just missed in 13th place, 1 pin away from advancing to match play here today. But Brianna Cote in 8th place, also making a pretty big move, and depending on how the rest of the week goes, she can vault herself right into this conversation. Taking a look at the projected points at the moment. Verity Crawley, if she finishes in 8th place or better, is going to be the point leader. Shannon O'Keefe has surpassed Dasha Kovalova. So currently Kovalova, who entered this event in first place overall in the points, is now in second, based off of her 37th place finish. Terrible break there for Zavala.
Yep.
Can't get these strikes going.
So just as I say, that would still be a well-bowled professional game. That was not a bad shot.
So Keefe officially ahead of Kovalova. So if Verity has a rough day, she's starting the day in 3rd place, and she looks like she's on pace to kick things off with victory. So, obviously we mentioned how close everything is. So if Verity has a rough day, she could potentially drop a couple spots, and Shannon would be heading into the Pepsi Classic and the Tour Championship as the overall leader. But Verity Crawley, with her current position right now, would hold the lead by about 4,000 points over O'Keefe, given her 3rd place points. For Cote, if she's able to get the win at this event, she would be less than 4,000 points away from where O'Keefe and Dasha Kovalova are at.
Whoa.
That one got away from her.
I can't tell where she's sliding because of the score monitor down there, but I mean that ball was just right of 3rd arrow. The thing about it is, right, and this is what I think makes bowling very interesting. Because you take a player like Stephanie, you're watching this game, right, and the easy thing to say would be, man, I just think she's too far left, right? But when you get into match play, you got to do what's best for you, and that's what's best for her, right? A little smile, which is good. I think that helps when you're in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a little smile about gutter spare, as opposed to and obviously off and open too, which she didn't lose count.
Lose count, yep.
But we always say there's no right way. Now there are certainly times where you can be playing the lanes completely wrong. But in many cases, you could be doing something that's different than your opponent, which may make it seem like if you're not scoring like your opponent, you could be doing the wrong thing. It's interesting. Verity, when we talked to her yesterday after round 2, referenced both Stephanie and Brianna as players who had kind of moved in a little bit. And because she saw them doing that and having high levels of success, she felt like that's where she should be, which also is more of her comfort zone. And she can go left to right, obviously. She was struggling with angles, she mentioned, in round number 1, and was able to fix that based on these two players right here, in Zavala and Cote.
Your 10th frame is underway.
On the other side of the coin, Aaron, Brianna Cote is like, well, I mean, I'm not going to have any sympathy for you, Stephanie.
She's moving into 1st place.
That's not what this game is about.
Yeah, she is. She's going to move into the lead here. It's got the win already locked up, so the 30 bonus pins. It's going to be well north of 200 here. She can still get to the 240s with one more strike here. So Zavala, best she can get to is 184, so she's going to drop. So Brianna Cote. We've literally only had 2 leaders this event. It's been either Zavala or Cote. They've been taking it back and forth. Can opener there.
Open up that can of blank.
For Bree to get that double, get into the 240. So we're going to have a new tournament leader here. Heading into the final 5 games of WOC number 1 of match play. Of course, folks, remember on bowltv.com, we do have every pair available. So you can watch your favorite athlete as they make their way through match play. Got a couple couple of different channels to choose from, along with our main commentary channel that you're checking out right now. So for the folks who are on Bolt TV already, good morning, welcome. We hope you're having a great start to your Tuesday. Feels weird to say that. Usually we're weekend folks here on the PWBA tour, but we'll party on a Tuesday with you. But you're already in the spot to catch all the action for the rest of the day, and of course the stepladder finals later tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 local time here for the Reno Classic. If you're joining us right now from Facebook or YouTube, we are going to send the feed exclusively to BoltTV.com at the conclusion of this game. So we certainly encourage you to head on over. Once again, BoltTV.com, the address, the place to be. Check it out and subscribe to taking the action, watch the best players on the PWBA Tour compete for titles here this week, the final event of the 2021 season. A few different ticket options to purchase. You can buy an event pass just for the Reno Classic. Watch all the action today, $8.95. If you want to watch the rest of the Fall Classic Series, which includes qualifying match play in the stepladder finals at the Pepsi Classic, as well as all of match play at the Tour Championship. Of course, the finals of the Tour Championship are going to be on CBS Sports Network on Halloween. You can buy an event ticket for $19.95, so that gets you coverage the rest of the way out. 9, come on. In addition to those event tickets, we also have an annual and monthly recurring option, which gives you full access to BoltTV.com. So not only the live coverage, but the archived events, the on-demand information as well. So be sure to check that out along the way too. So the annual $79.95, the monthly $9.95. Transaction fees do apply at all price points, so keep that in mind as well. But BoltTV.com, the place to be, and giveaways. Oh my goodness, we have giveaways as well.
Especially 246 to 174. Cote with the early win, 30 bonus pins. That's a nice jump for Cote. She'll be in the lead, as Aaron mentioned. We'll go over scores from other matches on the other side. We'll see you on BoltTV.com.
Yeah. I mean, the knife sucked, but I don't think he really loved that shot. Well, that's good. Good one. Good. Take a second.
All right, looks like game one of round one of match play in the books across the house. Emil, did you have some of the scores there real quick?
Yes, I do. Here they are. It is, or they are. Excuse me. Stephanie Johnson defeated Björke Norreichs 247 to 189. Daria Payok defeated Sandra Gongora 208 to 183. Didn't see Verity's final, but she did defeat Diana Zavyalova. D-shot 164.
237 for Verity.
And there you go. Kelly Kulik defeated Ashley Galante 242 to 206. And Masaki Mukutani defeated Valerie Bercier 187 to 177. I'd be curious to watch this Kulik and Zavala match.
Okay, we can make that happen for you.
And I'm basing that on, obviously, Curious if the lanes will begin to come to Stephanie. I thought she threw some good shots, especially in the 10th frame. Those two shots very good. I thought the 7-10 shot was still good as well. And Kelly is off now a 242 situation.
All right. Whoa.
Before we go, run away Brooklyn there for Diana. Didn't expect that.
So going all the way to second place.
Yes, we're going to the 61 to 64 channel. And good people of Bowl TV. We will have, we're going to do a Bowl TV viewer's choice. I think we said about maybe game 3 or 4. Let's just call it game 3. Let's see. Some good matchups in both of those games. All right, so we'll just say game 3 or 4. And maybe you can choose the game. Let's make it simple. Game 3. Bowl TV viewer's choice. You decide the match or matches that will be on the main feed for game 3. Please keep in mind that 57, 58, 59, and 60 will have multiple matches, along with 61, 62, 63, and 64 multiple matches. One match apiece on 55 and 56, and 65 and 66. So take a look at the pairings of the match play schedule.
Available at PWBA.com.
You actually have to look at the match play schedule.
We're gonna put some work into it. We'll have a poll option available when it's time. So
It's literally going to be, I wanted to see, I'm in favor of this person versus this person.
that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna say. Let's see if we can get all 6 on the poll. I think we can. So start thinking ahead now, folks. Messenger doesn't connect for Gongora. Saying it would be cool if it did. Gotta give a quick shout out to our dude from Brunswick, Rick Barbera, for helping us out with scoring and everything going on this week. Rick is a legend in the industry. And we always know when we see Rick at an event, he's going to make sure we're taking care of here. So he's already taking care of the plus minuses, adding the bonus spins, and taking care of all that for the scoreboards there, making sure the live scoring is working with the tournament staff, just about everything. So I give a big thank you to Rick for all he does for us. That's our matchups across the house. Here in game 2, Diana Zagalova against Stephanie Johnson on 55 and 56. DZ kicking things off with 3 early strikes. Brianna Cote against Birgit Norex on 57 and 58. Verity Crawley. Early 4-bagger against Misaki Mukutani on 59 and 60. We're watching the Gongora, Bercier, Zavala, Kulik matches. And then on our final pair in play here, 65 and 66, Daria Payuk taking on Ashley Galante. We do have a scoring update available as well after game number 1. As predicted, Brianna Cote moves into the top spot plus 442. Stephanie Zavala drops to second plus 373. Verity Crawley maintains third plus 335. Stephanie Johnson takes over the 4th spot plus 317, 247 victory for Steph J. Kelly Kulik with 242 in the victory moves up to 5th. She's 21 pins back at plus 296. Then a bit of separation to Daria Payuk plus 241, 76 pins back. Ashley Galante plus 220, 97 pins back. Diana Zagalova drops from 4th to 8th after that 164 effort. She's at plus 216, 101 pins back. 1 pin ahead of Misaki Mukutani at 9th, plus 215. Birgit Norex plus 214. Sandra Gongora plus 193, and Valerie Bercier plus 175. So all scores available after 1. We'll drop that link in the chat as well.
Wow.
Seems Stephanie is okay.
I mean, she's showing the patience, though, right? Took patience not to abort mission in that game 1, considering that she wasn't striking. And I've got to guess that is just some experience, understanding what the game plan is, and then sticking to the plan and showing that level of patience too. She knows it's there. Get the, sometimes game 1 jitters are a thing. Not saying she had them, but, game 1, first couple shots, right? Get it all out. But she made a ball change and then moved left. I mean, the whole thing. So there's a lot happening. And then towards the end of that game, the 8-10, gutter, spare, strike, 9 pin. Those were the last 4 shots. And now, here it is. She's in about like 18, 19, though, it looks like, at the arrows. Obviously, Kelly shot 242, now vaulting her into 5th. Maybe just a touch right of where Stephanie is. Hard to tell. Kelly's body was in the way of the arrows in that angle. I think it might have been Verity who mentioned that the field tended to start further left in round 2 yesterday. I feel like that's continued on here this morning. Not a lot of players closer to the channel. Everyone we've seen so far, that might be just a testament of the field individually or as a whole, and then the individual players and their games and what they'd like to do on the lanes. But everyone seems to be giving it away from the pocket, circling it just a little bit.
Emil, I also feel for Stephanie's situation after kind of what she was able to do yesterday. And when you go back and you look at the back half of those blocks for her, when she was able to make that big jump left in round one, her last 4 games, 279, 248, 238, 268. Round two, last 4 games, 246, 246, 222, 226. She wants to get left. She wants to get there because once she settles in, she's going to be farther left than more than likely everybody here. And then for her, she said, everybody to the right's helping me. They're giving me a spot. They're giving me something to throw at. And then the front part of the lane, the moves are minimal because no one else is in that spot for her. So, oh, let's go.
Slap it out.
So her moves were very minimal once she got there. And then it was just a matter of execution. And then when you see that, that 4-pin leave, okay, just scooch a bit left, back in business. So while all the other players are, let's get it. Let's get hits. So while all the other players are losing a couple, I'm all about that energy. You know that. But while the other players, kind of have to fight through that when it's time to move, it might take them an extra shot or two. It's probably a little bit smaller move for Zavala just because there's less happening in the front part of the lane. And she kind of is creating her own transition across the course of these blocks because no one is in front, or she's not fighting with anybody for the spot. With all that said, if we're getting in the let's look way far ahead situation, I feel she would really benefit. She would really like to be the top seed. Just for the fact that the way game one has kind of gone for her in these first few rounds compared to what some of the other players have. It would be advantageous for her not to have to hit the thresh. Looking way ahead today. But
Interesting shot there from Sandra. Didn't look like she missed it at all. I feel like she thought that was a much better shot than the one that she just threw, where that one was clear. She missed right down lane. And saw a similar thing with Kelly when she too missed right. Verity Crawley had an opportunity to get to the max at 279. Of the 12 players in this field, let's see, Stephanie Zavala, 2 wins this season. Kelly Kulik with 1. Yana Cote with 1. And I believe that's it.
Verity Crawley.
Oh, excuse me, Verity Crawley. Beg your pardon.
Birgit Morex.
Where's Birgit?
She's right there.
Oh, geez, I didn't even see her on the board.
Come on, E.
Yeah, that was. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the 12. That's a pretty good number right there. Yeah, it's early. I'm coming around.
It's finding his stride.
5:30, 6 a.m. is the same on whatever side or time zone you're in. Nice kick at the 10 from Valerie. Speaking of Birgit, she's in a very close match with Stephanie, or Brianna Cote, excuse me. That's over on 57 and 58. Well, it looks like Kevin knows what it is. That's impressive. He can tell that, and I'm being very honest about that. I'm basing it, or I'm guessing he can tell the color scheme, which is rare. See the good angle of the colors. Nice shot, Kevin. It's pretty clear on the ball return. I think the angle helps. Nice job.
Nice cover there by Gongora.
Good morning. Shannon Chapelski and Shell and everyone else by that.
So right now, Kelly Kulik step up in the 10th frame. Going to get the first hit, but max at 2:03. Stephanie Zavala still has 2:57 out there. So it looks like Zavala will move to 1-1. Kelly will fall to 1-1. First shot of the 10th for Bercier. Well, that's pretty darn good right there. First one of the 10th. She's now into the 2 teens. The low 2 tens. Gongora can only get to 193, so Valerie Bercier is going to take the bonus pins here. Some other updates from across the house. Verity Crawley in the books with 246. So she's going to move to 2-0 here in a win over Misaki Mukutani. Ashley Galante, 231 in victory over Daria Payuk. Daria with 173. Diana Zavyalova at 6 out of the first 7. She is going to record the victory against Stephanie Johnson. Stephanie in the books with 194. Diana can still get to 225. And our first chance for a tie. Let's go. Between Brianna Cote and Birgit Norreichs. Zavala. Down to the 240s. One more gets her into the 250s. Final tallies 255, 203. Stephanie Zavala over Kelly Kulik. 223. Valerie Bercier in victory. 183 over Sandra Gongora. And Emil, it's time. Let's run that poll.
Let's do it.
Viewer choice. Who do you want to watch here on Bowl TV in game number 3? Some great matchups along the way. Sandra Gongora versus Verity Crawley, Stephanie Zavala, Daria Payuk, Valerie Bercier, Diana Zavyelova, Stephanie Johnson, Saki Mukutani, Ashley Galante, and Brianna Cote, and Birgit Norikes versus Kelly Kulik. The votes are rolling in, folks.
Wow.
All right.
I think the high rev won.
Stephanie Zavala versus Daria Payuk, 40% of the Bowl TV audience. So let's get to that pair. That's going to be on 57-58. So we'll make that switch right after Stephanie's first shot here. Your choice time here on Bowl TV. Thanks, everybody. And just so everybody knows now, I want to put this out there. If we get a front 8 or front 9 on another pair, because y'all pick this, not us. And they don't strike out. It's not on us anymore. Because we would have been like, oh, we were going to be on that pair the whole time. That was the match we were going to pick. So just so you good folks know. With great decision making comes great responsibility. Thanks, everybody.
Rick and Ken asks, can we do it more often? The reason we wouldn't do it every game was exactly the reason that Selwyn mentioned.
This was the matchup, and in addition, all the folks who voted for DZ and Valerie Bercier also benefit from this selection. Oh.
As a caveat for all of our Verity Crawley fans, which there are a lot, Verity actually will face Stephanie Zavala in Game 4 coming up on 65 and 66. By the way, if you haven't already, be sure to check the match play schedule. Click the info tab next to the chat tab, which should be on the right side of your screen if you're watching on your computer. If you're watching on a tablet, phone, etc., it'll be at the bottom of your screen. And all of the information is there per event. The match play schedule is listed as pairings now, just so you are aware. That's a good question there from Jill. Jill, I believe, and I've seen this from other players, and at every level. I believe it is her rosin bag, and I believe they keep it in the bag so it will not go all over the place. For those who use rosin, once you hit it a couple times, pat it, etc., the rosin kind of get everywhere. So I think to prevent that or help prevent it, keep it in the bag, and that way your hand is in the bag as you hit the rosin. Hand out of the bag into the ball, less mess.
Also not messy. Standings after 2. Brianna Cote continues to lead. She did end up tying that matchup against Birgit Reichs. So the 15 bonus points. She's now at plus 470, but Stephanie Zavala with 255 in the victory moves right. She still holds on to second place, but much closer once again to Cote, plus 458 now. So just 12 pins between first and second. Verity Crawley, 237 and 246 out of the gates. Now plus 411. She's 2-0. And 100 pins between third and fourth. Stephanie Johnson hangs on to the fourth spot, plus 311. Kelly Kulick, plus 299 in fifth, 12 back. Ashley Galante, plus 281, 30 pins back now. Diana Zavalova, plus 271, 40 pins out of the number. Birgit Reichs, plus 242. Kelly Mercier, plus 228. Daria Pike, plus 214. Saki Mukutani, plus 185. Sandra Pandora, plus 176. So while we have a quick minute here, after that 9 pin we saw from Daria, I just want to
That was excellent.
didn't know you needed that in your life.
That was excellent producing right there.
It worked out very nicely, timing on the approach.
I know we wanted to clip that. I didn't know we did it. Did we? No.
Oh. 9 pin, how dare you? How dare you?
Did we have the other? We get the what's the summer?
I did not get the
Okay.
summer night.
Shot there. Diana, I can't say she's been quiet because she does own the only 300 games of the tournament thus far. Excellent shot there for Daria. But she has been very good so far this week, or in this event, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been Tabitha who asked or noticed perhaps that Diana may have been having some thumb issues. And I did talk to Diana this morning just to see how she was doing. And the shot there from SZ. She mentioned that all was well, and then she said, except that she was battling some swelling, which she said Reno often does to her.
Okay.
So that very well could be. And she also had her thumb in her switch grip at the time, I think, trying to, decrease the swelling. So keeping the thumb in the grip at that point in time. And this was probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes before practice began.
In business, 5 for 5. Let's see if Daria almost leaves another 9. Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. That one got away. Daria actually going for the thumb there. I'm not sure if she's losing her grip or maybe a little soreness there, but usually asking for that one to make it up the hill.
But this just said something I've never heard before. Now I need to scroll up and soapstone. What is soapstone in this tab?
It's in the Open Championships rules, guy.
Soapstone?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well,
About things you cannot add to the bottom of your shoe.
I still don't know what
I
it is.
honestly have no idea what it is either, but I know I read that in the rules every season.
Is it easy slide in there?
Easy slide is there, which I do know.
Joe knows it too. It's funny. I don't think, as much as I've done rules checks, I don't think I've ever looked at the OC rules. And it's probably a good thing because I would have glanced right on over soapstone. I was so excited to get a chance to see Valerie in person on practice day on Sunday, just to congratulate her. person. Someone who has had 2 children in the last couple of years, and while working on this tour, all of a sudden I just feel like she's a part of everyone's family.
Not the same.
Interesting. Learning some stuff. I've never been one to slide, so that's probably why I don't know all the tricks. Y'all be careful what you put in this chat now. We just talked about rules. I don't want no calls to the rules counselor, the rules department.
That's true. See, if you really want to go way back, if you want to throw it back in the day, the way to do it for easy slide and soapstone and all these other things is that something you don't see in bowling centers quite as much anymore. But if you need a little extra slide, not the most hey, I guess you probably want to wash your hands afterwards, but go find yourself an ashtray. Get some of the leftovers in there. That will help that sole just slide for days. Things you didn't need know, you needed to know.
You're right. What I need to know right now is how many pins? 12 pins right now separating first and second.
12. That is correct.
So since this is the viewer's choice or match, not award. I'm thinking about like the MTV Music Awards or something. Good shot there, DZ.
See, I thought you were thinking about the time that Mitch won the MVP.
Stop. Specifically Stephanie and Daria. I would be curious now to measure their rev rates. I think that's something I can't look too far in the future because I don't know what's going to happen then. But if we had a list of that info, it's kind of early on, like let's say during media day, not that we take those stats, like we're not going to actually produce video and get there, find their path and all that kind of stuff, but they just tell us the info. Or maybe we just add it to the bio sheet, for example. So you can just kind of have that info. Not that you'll ever really, it's not going to come into play, but it's more of a talking point when we get into high rev players.
Yeah, nuts for that. Let's bring them all over to the ITRC rev rate contest.
It would be.
I mean, that'd be a fun. I'd watch that. Just saying.
I do think it would help the viewers and us in some cases be a bit more informed. So I think it also can make some comparisons easier too. All right, so you can clearly see what a 450 rev rate is versus 320. If that makes sense.
Well, whatever that number was right there. There was a sufficient amount. Sun pins everywhere.
She's bowled very well through 3 games.
TZ really putting up the number here this game. So there's a few opportunities for some 230s and 240s out there. But 4-time tour champ. Made both majors so far this year, including the Queens here at the NBS.
She was not sure about that one. I think that's her first missed makeable spare today. She had the 8-10. I'm sorry, the 7-10.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said 18 earlier. 7-10 in game 1. I'm pretty sure she was clean in game 2.
Yep, 250, 255.
Joe, I think that's a good, fair question. I know for me personally, there's a couple of reasons why I think knowing that is important. One, to me, in a situation like this where our job is to be as informative and entertaining as possible. So every now and then I'll just randomly think of something, and I'd like to have the factual knowledge to go along with it. In this case, for comparison's sake, hey, Daria's, let's say what we just talked about, right? Ulysses was mentioning on the King of the Hill show, 440. And let's say someone else is 250. They're both getting it done. They're both striking, but it's just a different way from a ball rotation perspective to see balls going down the lanes and how they enter the pins. And then the other thing is just, I think it's just fun, kind of random knowledge to know. That's just my personal thoughts, opinions on Rev Rate. I'm also along with Selwyn. You just go out there and do what you do and try to knock all the pins down. And ultimately, that's really the only thing that matters. It's all relative to the. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, someone got that on video. Might be Joe. Joe was down there. Joe from Bowler's Journal joining us again this week. Daria she needed to pick that up to solidify the win. So otherwise, Stephanie could have struck out to tie her. So Daria is going to be victorious over Stephanie Zavala. Brianna Cote is going to get a win over Ashley Galante with 237. So Cote will extend her lead. And DZ on her way to a 250-plus performance and 30 bonus pins against Valerie Sear.
Well, I tell you, by virtue of the viewer's choice match, we got this bonus match, and see Diana be pretty dominant here. A little move in to test the waters for Daria.
Oh, let's go. Curtis was down there as well for that one. So be sure to check out the PWBA's Instagram story in about 5 minutes or so. We'll have a second look at that. Trip 284 bucket 7 combo. Extra spicy from DZ. $58 though. It's going to be the big number in the round. Saki Mukutani, 236 to 214 over Stephanie Johnson. Sandra Gongora is going to get the victory over Verity Crawley, so Verity will be handed her first defeat here in match play. Kelly Kulik's going to get a victory. She's in the 220s already. Spear getting more ranks. 237-212 final score. Brianna Cote take down Ashley Galante. Final score there, 215 to 192. Stephanie Zavala. Or Daria Payuk with the win over Stephanie Zavala. There we go. Let's go. Game 3 in the books. This we're going to have ourselves a little break here when this is all said and done. This is cruising along at the moment. Already getting ready for Game 4 here at the Reno Classic on Bold TV. Once again, a second match play round coming up. At 4 p.m. Eastern. 1 local time, and the stepladder finals tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 local. Emil, where should we go next? Or should we just stay where we're at? What on earth could possibly be next?
I mean, we haven't seen Ashley Galante today.
It feels like we've kept moving away from Stephanie Johnson pairs.
Yeah, let's keep it here.
Let's watch Steph. Watch Ashley for the first time today. See our tournament leader, Brianna Cote. She'll be taking on Sandra Gongora here. Game 4.
A little chill in the building here at the National Bowling Stadium. There's a few less people in the building this morning. Didn't experience any snow or rain this morning either on the walkover. I saw a video from Shannon Sellens on social media yesterday. Had to be. Were you talking about snow too on the way over here?
I saw some snow.
Someone else.
Well, I saw it from the hotel room.
Right.
Like, so by the time, nice cover there by Sandra. So by the time it was making it down to street level, it was already becoming not snow anymore. or a different variety of snow. But Maria Jose Rodriguez, I know from where they were staying, about 10, 15 minutes away, had plenty of snow yesterday. And I heard that one of the volunteers helping us out this week, someone saw them driving in and their car was covered in snow. So that was yesterday, but not today.
Nice opening double. Forte, she has just looked in full control for the majority of this tournament so far. And control, I'm meaning, into what she is doing. It's obvious command of the lane, and that goes to, or you can see that just based on scores, where she is in the standings and where she has been. It's not the first time this year, Aaron, we've said Brianna Cote has either been 1 or 2 for the majority of the event. Nice shot. Ask Sandra what the number 14 represents in her life.
This has been a discussion we've had this year. It's I believe it's a.
You know the answer?
It's a player on the Mexican soccer team.
Aha. How about that?
I believe we asked Nathan about it.
Brush off a silver medal.
In the team event, yep.
Pan Am Elite Championships. And nearly another spare make or split make. Unfortunately, that left lane seems to be a little troublesome for SG as we start here through 3 frames. Steph J. If you are just joining us, this is game 4 or match play. Round number 1, a double there for Stephanie Johnson. The PWBA Reno Classic. This is essentially day 2 of the event, qualifying 2 rounds yesterday, 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Pacific time yesterday. After 12 games of qualifying, Stephanie Zavala was the day 1 leader, followed by Brianna Cote, Verity Crawley, Diana Zavyalova, Stephanie Johnson running up the top 5. The 12 players advanced after the 12 games of qualifying. with Valerie Bercier, Misaki Mukatani, tying for the 11th spot, avoiding a roll-off situation. Strike for Galante. Tied at plus 198. Zavala led after qualifying at plus 399. Cote was second again at plus 366. It's been a battle between Zavala and Cote throughout qualifying and now into match play. Cote had the shot 289 front 10 to open up qualifying round 1. Zavala did lead after round 1 yesterday, of course, so handling qualifying in that regard. Verity Crawley was the biggest mover in round number 2. 14:26 for 6 games. But that 14:26 included a 167 game 1. So she went plus 259 for 5 games in the back half of yesterday's block, averaging 251.8. For those 5 games and to settle into 3rd place. Now into a few games of match play. We'll have a score update here soon if we don't already have it.
Oh, we do.
Oh, well, there it is.
It's ready. Let's go. Let's get it through 3 games. Match play 15 overall here at the Reno Classic. Brianna Cote, 237 in victory, extends her lead, plus 537. Over Stephanie Zavala, 2nd place, plus 450. Verity Crawley, plus 412, hanging on to that 3rd spot. Diana Zavyalova, after 258, moves back into the top 4 where she started the day. Now at plus 359, 6 pins ahead of Kelly Kula. Kelly has been very just hanging around. Which should be scary for everybody else. Plus 353, 6 pins back. Stephanie Johnson drops to 6th, plus 325. Ashley Galante, plus 293, 66 back. Daria Paigu is 100 pins out of the cut, plus 259. Misaki Mukatani, plus 251. Birgit Norrex, plus 244. Valerie Mercier, plus 222. And then Sandra Kokora, plus 220. Current scores. Valerie Mercier has started with the front 5. The matchup against Birgit Norrex. Potentially an opportunity for Stephanie Johnson to really open this up. Galante can't run down 6, 7, 10. Already working on 3 consecutive strikes.
So you're saying we're going to get breakfast?
Say that again?
Because we're going to be done so early.
Oh, it's there is a little more A little more time to work with here, potentially. No. We're not cruise control today. 2-0-1 so far. Haven't tied with Beer yet. 2-13.
When we talked to Bree yesterday, by the way, front 7 for Valerie Mercier.
Let's go, VB.
Around 63 and 64. We're inching closer, Aaron. But we talked about how she's always around. Just when you think, mathematically looks maybe the top 7. Wow. It just shouldn't be. How does she throw it that good here?
I'm not sure.
Anyway. Top 7. We're talking about the player of the year. And seems like, although mathematically not, but it seems like those are the players who kind of had the best chance still realistically to make a move or to win the award. Those obviously lower on that list have a really good week and then have some players fall back. And some players did fall back. And then someone who was 8th on the list said, wait, hold on. Not so fast. I'm still here. A couple of things that I think have really been big items for Bree's continued growth as a player was her switch from 15 to 14, which I think now is about 2 years, maybe 3 at this point, right? Queens was an 18 here.
Queens was an 18 here, yep.
So that was the season that really.
That was the comeback year.
Yeah, because 17 was some trouble. Dropped from 15 pounds to 14 pounds. Made a couple of, or was a top seed in a few shows, including the Queens. I think Fountain Valley was the other that year.
The week before.
Yep, top seed. Unfortunately, runner-up both times. But back to being herself. And the other thing was might have been 17 as well, Oh Mountain. But she was not selected to Team USA. And that became, after being on the team for a couple of years, and that became, while disappointing, a extreme motivating factor.
Mm-hmm.
And now, of course, last couple of years back on the team, helps the team to a team gold medal just last week, along with some additional medals.
Gold in trios, bronze in all events.
I think she's really. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all I have.
I think she's really a complete player. Not that she needs to get to 5th arrow, because most of the time that's not necessary, typically speaking, but she could play there if she needed to. Oh. Okay.
All right.
We
Folks,
let it get to 9.
It's 9. It's 9. It's real. It's happening. So Valerie Mercier has started with the front 9. We'll head over there after Ashley's spare 10th. All right, so after Beer gets the 10th frame, Valerie is going to be stepping up here. All right. Just moments. Valerie Bercier going to be stepping up for the chance at the second. .300 game of the Reno Classic. Some additional coordinating going around here, so that's something to make sure we're all set to go here for Valerie's attempt. Oh, that's a nice little cover over there. There's Brianna Cote up in the 10th. Still get to 243 now. She's going to get the win against Sandra Gongora. 224 for Birgit Norrijks. Not going to be enough here as Valerie Bercier has already locked up the victory. Can she add a little extra excitement here? Looking for 10. Runs high, unfortunately, 4-7-10 to end the string of strikes. For Valerie, going to be a big game. Facing the 260s with the bonus pins. It's going to jump up into the plus 320 range. Another big game brewing for Diana Zavyalova. Final tally 265 to 224. Valerie Bercier front 9. But unable to complete the 300. 243. Brianna Cote is going to be enough for a victory against Sandra Gongora. Gongora can still get to 216. Stephanie Johnson is going to collect the win against Ashley Galante. And Zavyalova. Mentioned another big game here. This one to get into the 250s. And one more time. She had 258 last game, so she can go back-to-back 258s here. Verity Crawley, 220 in a victory over Stephanie Zavala. So really the only match we have going on at the moment is over on 55 and 56. Everyone else is kind of wrapped up. Game number 4, so Misaki Mukutani and Kelly Kulik. So we'll get Diana's final shot here before making the switch. 9th and 10th frame left to go between Kulik and Mukutani. Kulik just capped off a double. Her max score, 219. Mukutani with a spare in the eighth can still get to 200. He needs to throw a couple strikes here to force Kelly to mark for the first one of the night. Takes care of business. There's one for Misaki. Once again, 200 her max score. Kelly has 219 out there. So if Misaki is able to strike out, she would force Kelly to get the first one. Nine spare strike would not be enough in that situation. Stood up quickly on that one. Two pin will drop her max to 189. Kelly will just need a mark. All other matches currently completed for game 4. Just 2 left to go here in round 1. There's a winner. Kelly Kulik. That all-important 30. Humongous in this situation, just a couple pins out of the show. Although a couple players ahead of her got wins in this game, tossed some big numbers, she's not going to really lose pace here. She's going to be well within range to make a push to the top 4 here in round 1. player we haven't really watched yet today is Verity Crawley. So I think that's going to be the next move. Go watch Verity in this matchup against Birgit Norreichs. I don't believe we caught Birgit either just yet. So Verity's done everything she's needed to do so far to stay in the mix in the top 4. So Crawley taking on Birgit over on 61-62, and then Daria Payuk against Misaki Mukutani on 63 and 64. Brianna Cote taking on Diana Zagalova on 65 and 66. Sandra Gongora versus Kelly Kulik, and Stephanie Zavala versus Stephanie Johnson over on our 57 through 60 channel, and then Valerie Bercier versus Ashley Galante over on 55 and 56. Both players over on 61 62. 3 for 3 so far. Let's make it 4 for 4. All right. Business picking up here. Game 5 of 6. Round 1 of match play. PWBA Reno Classic. First of 3 national tour stops. The final 3 tour stops of the 2021 PWBA Tour season. Verity, certainly the biggest benefactor of the way things have transpired here through the first event at the Reno Classic. We've talked a lot about the points, which of course helped determine the player of the year, the season-long points list. And out of the players in the top 7 in points, only one, Verity Crawley, made it to match play. So if she finishes 8th or better, which she currently is on pace to do, she will be the overall leader heading into the final 2 events. So every spot she can gain here, she looks to make her 7th, the tour leading 7th championship round appearance. Would be huge. Fortunately there, she becomes the first player to miss here in game 5, 10 pin. Slowing her down, so here we get 5 for 5, early advantage. Oh, all right. Not the way she originally planned that one when she set up on the approach, but fortunate hit, 5 out of 6. If you miss, if you're missing in, we've seen this a couple times already on this 37-foot condition. If you miss left, it can be trouble like that, but probably benefits from the crossover. Let's see if Birgit can keep the pressure on here. She makes it. 6 for 6. All right. Birgit was on the receiving end of the front 9 from Valerie Bercier last game. Still hasn't recorded a victory here in match play at the moment. 3 losses and a tie. So not benefiting from the bonus pins. But her first 9 counts essentially evens this matchup. Nice cover from Misaki. Still looking for that first strike here in Game 5. Ashley Galante, 3 out of the first 4 against Valerie Bercier. Stephanie Zavala had the front 3 against Stephanie Johnson before back-to-back spares. All right, score update now available. After 4 games here, and for the first time in a long time, we have a bit of a mix-up in the top 4. Brianna Cote continues to lead, and she has expanded that lead now to plus 610, but Verity Crawley, who we're watching right now, has moved into second place. Plus 462 on the strength of a 3-1 record. Diana Zavialova in third place, plus 447. She has posted back-to-back 258 games, has a 3-1 record. Stephanie Zavala, her 255 in game 2, 192 and 185, has dropped to fourth place, plus 435. 45 pins ahead of Kelly Kulik at plus 390. Stephanie Johnson at plus 377, and Valerie Bercier with a big 265, 118 pins back, plus 317. Another jump into eighth place. Ashley Galante plus 273. Birgit Norreichs plus 268. Saki Mukutani plus 240, Sandra Gongora plus 236, and Daria Payuk dropped to plus 191 in 12th place. So Zavala, who's just held on to first and second place essentially throughout the course of the event, drops to fourth. So we'll get to see how she rebounds here in the final few games. Crawley moving up. Once again, just talking about the importance of every spot in this situation. Looking at Player of the Year.
Interesting how this is unfolding. What Stephanie's line at the moment, a little surprising. But if you look at the players who've made I probably should say, has scored the best today. Kote, Crawley, Zavialova, as you mentioned, Kelly Kulik, and Stephanie Johnson. Well, this is a treat.
Well, Birgit still looking for that first full victory. Had the tie earlier. She said, I'm going to get one. I'm going to get all of it. Daria, after 132 last game. Back in business here. Crawley can still get to 236, but Birgit on the strength of 8 out of 9 strikes, essentially into the 240s already with decent count. So Birgit, one more good shot away from locking up her first win. For Crawley, though, still might be enough to hang on to the second spot, just based off of the current matchups for Zavialova and Zavala. Oh, no.
Hashtag team. No 8-pin.
That's an unpleasant way to start the 10th frame. Well, maybe the second spot will be a little bit more up for grabs, I think. .216 out there for Verity. Zavala is in position to get the victory over Stephanie Johnson. After the early three-bagger, though, she had 4 consecutive spares. So she can still get into the 240s. She's able to strike out. A couple of splits for Stephanie Johnson. It's given Zavala the advantage. And PZ taking on Brianna Cote. Cote, neither of them really striking too much in that one, but a couple of opens on splits for Zavialova. Cote's are working on a double at the moment. .216 will take Verity up to plus 478. So Zavala might be able to sneak back into second. That's all said and done.
Daria will have that one kind of just outlier shot. Generally speaking, you don't want to have that, and it never leaves a makeable. What's up to Greg, by the way? Old Dry in the building. Jay has entered the chat. Just to give you some thoughts, if you haven't looked at the match play schedule, how we will close out block one of match play here this morning at the National Bowling Stadium. Daria Payok will face Björn Nordreichs on 55 and 56. Valerie Bercier will take on Stephanie Zavala on 57 and 58. Verity Crawley will take on Ashley Galante on 59 and 60. Misaki Mukatani will face Brianna Cote on 61 and 62. Kelly Kulik will face Diana Zavyalova on 63 and 64. And Sandra Gongora will face Stephanie Johnson on 65 and 66. And that will be the final game of this round of match play. And coming up next here on Bowl TV.
I really like that Kelly-Diana matchup. I feel that that will have an early position round feel to it. And we happen to already be there. It's 258 first victory. Of the day for Birgit. 216 for Verdi. Daria's on her way to victory. It's Misaki. Ashley Galante putting up a big game. She can still get into the 250s. Against Valerie Bercier, she's going to get the victory there. Kelly Kulik is going to collect a win against Sandra Gongora. Kelly can still get into the 220s. Stephanie Johnson finishes with 193, but it's not going to be enough for victory. Stephanie Zavala max out at 215. So she's actually going to move back into second place, but just going to be a pin or two ahead of Verity Crawley. Max for Zavyalova this game is 188. Brianna Cote in position to get the victory with just good count. So she will continue to take care of business here. She can max out at 217. Looks like Diana's going to get into the 180s this game. She got the double in the 10th. Kelly finished at 217. Which gets her to plus 407. And then you add on the 30 bonus pins, gets her to plus 437. So Kelly Kulik, my math is correct. Gonna move on to the show.
Light work. So Kelly doing work. Messenger's just going over, just next door. Still didn't hit that 10 pin. Similar to what we saw from Dar yesterday that we replayed today.
Oh. Good old 110 pin improvement right there for Daria. 242 in victory. 197 for Misaki Mukutani. And outside of final score of the Kote Zavyalova match, we're ready for game 6. And Emil,
Oh,
as you may be aware,
is it?
we've been known to have a tradition to start game 6
Get out of here.
here on Bowl TV
Get out of Dodge.
during the PWBA tour. J-Rod. You may be familiar with J-Rod in the chat. J-Rod is on point and knows when we are starting this final game and gets everybody amped up. J-Rod is our unofficial hype individual for what's going to transpire next year on Bull TV. Because it is, in fact, giveaway time. However,
Uh-oh.
you're going to have to earn it.
Oh. Ow.
Well, I mean, it's still going to be the same process as always.
Okay.
So. But one of the players will have to earn it for them.
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it a little bit different than what we've typically done in the past. We usually wait for the first strike. I've had too many strikes today. That's a lie. I can never have too many strikes. The first spare conversion on the pair that we're watching right here, coming up, Misaki Mukutani, Brianna Kote, Kelly Kulik, Diana Zagalova. Whoever makes the first spare, that will trigger the start of the giveaway. So, we could have like 4 baggers for everybody, and everybody's going to be like, oh no, I have a conflict of interest because they want to see strikes, but they also want spares so they have a chance to win a Bowl TV t-shirt. So once we have that first spare, we're going to start the giveaway. You'll see a prompt in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. It's going to say a giveaway will begin soon. Watch here to participate. It'll count down for 60 seconds, and then in that same spot, you'll see a new prompt that says the giveaway has begun, and you'll see a submit entry button. All you have to do, Emil Williams Jr., is hit that submit entry button. Folks will have the opportunity to win. One lucky winner taking home the Bowl TV t-shirt. If you are in full screen mode, we do recommend you take it out of full screen. Make sure you can see the chat and everything. Game 6 underway. Kelly Kulik. She would just be showing off here. A little 3-9-10.
I was going to say this is be a good way and a good spare to set this thing off here.
Saki says, nah.
I think it's happening too. This is a spare.
Okay, we're still waiting here, folks.
Ote up to plus 671.
Starting to run away with it. So this is nearly a 200 pin advantage over where Stephanie Zavala is at plus 480. I saw a spare, but it wasn't from one of these four players. Oh my goodness, what have we done? What have we done? Tamil in the chat. Put too much pressure on them to make a spare. I really didn't expect three splits out of the.
Well, of course we did.
Out of the gates here. If anything, I figured it'd be 4 strikes and it would push that excitement level. So let's get back on track here, frame 2. Kote with the strike.
I'm always looking to switch it up. Jerry, man, you know we jinx everybody. Even when you try to do something completely different, it somehow results in the same result. Okay,
DZ.
2-8.
2-8 combo. There's never been more excitement for a potential 2-8 conversion. In a match play game, round 1 of match play.
He went to go get another ball for this. I don't know if he's shooting straight at it.
This isn't converted. I might be the least liked individual in Reno. Saki's having none of the spare talk. Just taking care of business. Oh, we're on the board. Let's get it. Diana, thank you. Thank you for your spare conversion and for saving me additional ridicule here in the chat for throwing everybody in a loop.
Well, Paula's got to pick up her grandson, so let's get this thing moving.
It is underway, good people of Earth. My apologies.
A little loft for Kelly. Oh, make it. Oh. I think that one's the one, right? That's the one that really counts.
That
I know it started already, but that's the one.
That would have been. I would have started yelling if that was the case. She had missed that, and then Kote just goes up there and tracks down the 6-7-10. Oh, that would have been fantastic. I would have flipped the table in excitement.
All right, it started, folks. So you get that entry in. It's ending soon.
Kenneth Underwood is our winner of the Bowl TV t-shirt. Kenneth, congratulations. Our marketing team will be reaching out to you in the next couple of days to secure your prize. A big thank you to everybody for participating and being part of the Bowl TV community. I agree with Thomas in the chat. Kenneth earned that one. Indeed. Played the long game on that one. We do crazy things at 10:17 in the morning in Reno, though, sometimes. Yeah. That's what we did. All right. Giveaway in the books. Standings updated. Brianna Cote plus 656, 4-0-1 to lead the way. Stephanie Zavala plus 480 in second place. Verity Crawley plus 478 in third. Kelly Kulick, as we predicted, plus 437, getting a couple pins ahead of Diana Zavyalova, plus 434. So Kelly and DZ, there's 3 pins separating them. So essentially, whoever wins this match is going to be holding the spot in the top 4. Stephanie Johnson in 6th place, plus 67. Birgit Norregs makes a big jump with that 258. She's now at plus 356. Ashley Galante plus 347. All within 100 pins of the cut. Valerie Bercier plus 316. Daria Payuk plus 263. Saki Mubitani plus 237. And Sandra Gongora plus 194.
Shout out to my man Maury. Shout out, I see you. See what's not being seen though. Carey at this point. At least these particular pairs. Payuk has started well. Verity has started well. Saki also, but man. Back on the train. It was Cote.
It's been kind of a weird round, right?
A little bit.
Like, we've still had some big scores, but it doesn't necessarily feel the scoring pace has kind of kept up with what we saw in qualifying. But people are really saving the back half of a lot of games to find their way to 220s and 230s and stuff like that. So it feels like it's very, very tricky from pair to pair, perhaps. Just kind of settling in and understanding the moves that need to be made. Obviously, switching to a new pair each and every game.
I think because the field has shrunk too, I think that's played a little bit of a role in that. Whoa.
That one was a little different.
I would be interested to get some confirmation on if the players started a little further left than they did in round 2 of qualifying yesterday.
Kelly on the board, first strike over there on 63 and 64. Folks, as a reminder, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 local time in the biggest little city in the world for the final round of match play, the final 6 games to determine the top 4. For tonight's stepladder finals at the Reno Classic. Diana gets the 4-pin. She is on the board with her first strike as well. So, Emil, if I were to put you on the spot right now, what percent chance does Rihanna Cote have to retain a spot on the show for tonight, in your opinion?
You said retain a spot?
To make the show.
Percentage? 99.
99.
Yes.
So we're feeling confident Rhea has done already through 17 and a half games, soon to be 18. And she's going to be in the top 4. I would agree with you on that.
Personally, 100%. Yes. I think she has shown great command of the lanes. Now, obviously, we've seen moments where, there is a large lead. The top seed at that moment of the leader does fall back slightly, and, due to whether it's some different transitions in a different round, et cetera, but I don't really see that happening. She may fall from the lead. I don't think she's leaving the top 4. I mean, on cue.
I was going to say that was just a reminder that she's not going to.
Yeah, it would be too early to talk about that. And I don't recall of course, I wasn't there for her kickoff classic. What seed was she?
She was the top seed.
Okay.
I'm going to go double check because I feel Jillian won a couple matches to get to the championship match. So Brianna was the top seed there. Top seed Cleveland, or was that Zavala?
Pretty sure that was it. We'll check.
Because I can pull that same line. I wasn't there for that. So.
Well played.
I appreciate you covering for me.
Stephanie Zavala was top seed in Cleveland.
All right, Cote, top seed at the ITRC Classic.
Yeah, I think really that was the only thing kind of left to conquer, so to speak, right? She hadn't won as the top seed.
Yes, I believe her first victory on tour came from the first match of the ladder back at the Lexington Open in 16. Okay, she's the 2 seed. Two pretty formidable opponents on the way to that victory. Shannon O'Keefe and Kelly Kulick. Daria Payuk is going to collect a victory here in Game 6 against Birgit Norreichs. Just a matter of final score. Birgit can max out at 202. Daria can still get to 238.
That's a nice point, Rick, with where he does have some tough opponents coming up. I don't think it's going to remove her from a spot on the show. And realistically, because of where she is currently, even if she loses a few matches, as long as she is still bowling well, it's not going to matter or really matter. But that's why you bowl.
That's why you bowl the games. Yeah, I feel even the top seed is probably closer to the 85-90% range. I'm feeling confident that Cote is going to continue just to be a great shot maker. Fill her frames, take advantage of good pairs, toss some strikes, and should be in a position to bowl for the title later tonight. But 6 games left to go. What happens? Verity Crawley or Stephanie Zavala finds a 250 look all of a sudden. Kelly Kulick. I mean, Kelly, since she's been very good at hanging around the number this entire event so far, looking back at qualifying, and then all of a sudden she goes, she got 115 over her last 2. To sneak into the top 12, and now she's worked her way into the top 4 and in position to collect another victory here.
Kelly had the second highest block of qualifying in round 2. I said round 2 of qualifying specifically, behind Verity Crawley. 14-16.
Other updates across the center. Stephanie Johnson is going to get the win against Sandra Gongora. 227 enough for the victory. Stephanie Zavala, 223 in victory over Valerie Bercier. Best Valerie can get to is 212. Verity Crawley's going to be good count on her first shot away from locking up another win, taking on Ashley Galante. Payuk with the 228-202 victory over Birgit Norreichs. .204 still out there for Diana And that could be enough in this matchup, however. Verity Crawley, you mentioned she can get the victory. She can actually, if she gets the first 2 in the 10th, she would go ahead of Stephanie Zavala for second place. 2:17, another victory for Brianna Cote. She's going to keep a big lead here, heading into round 2, coming up later today on Bowl TV from the Reno Classic. But yeah, Crawley can. That was Verity delivering the strike. That was the double in the 10th. So she is going to move into second place. Zavala will drop to third. Kelly Kulik looks like she's going to maintain that 4th spot.
That concludes the opening round of match play for the PWBA Reno Classic. Ladies, please tally up your score sheets and return them to the tournament office for verification. Our athletes will be returning at 1 p.m. for their final 6 games of match play. Thank you guys for coming this morning, and we will see you later today for the conclusion of the PWBA Reno Classic. That concludes the opening round of match play for the PWBA Reno Classic.
All right, folks.
Please tally up your score sheets and return them to the tournament office
222 to 193. Kelly Kulik with the victory over Diana Zavielova. Brianna Cote 217 to 206.
We will see you later today for the conclusion of the PWBA Reno Classic.
Over Misaki Mukutani. It's going to wrap up the day here, or the round, I should say. The day is far from over, Emil Williams Jr.
No. We're just getting started, literally.
All right.
Quick thoughts, Aaron, on what you saw today, though.
Very impressed, first and foremost, by Brianna Cote. Which obviously should go without saying, as the tournament leader and building a sizable lead on the competition here. Kelly Kulik, started the round certainly within reach. As we mentioned, everybody was within reach, but she is kind of just systematically has improved and worked her way up. up the leaderboard here and has moved into the top 4. But Verity Crawley, if we think about the overall spectrum of the season, she missed the first 3 events. So this is event number 15 for her. So she hopes to get 17 events in through the course of this event, missing the first 3 due to the visa issues. If she makes the show here, that's nearly 50% of shows this season. This will be her 7th show in 15 events. And she continues just to take care of business here in putting herself in spots to succeed and then going out and doing the thing.
It is pretty remarkable when you think about the full scale of all she's been through, and then what a performance on tour, and it's still going. She's got, she can make 9 total.
I mean, she did go 3 for 3 in the Summer Classic Series, so we've seen that happen before.
We're trying to get Kelly real quick, by the way, folks.
We'll bring it back to us here for a second, though, since the lanes are empty at the moment. No bowling going on. There's great-looking masking units, though. You can see those. But here we are. This is where we hang out, behind lanes 45 and 46 here at the National Bowling Stadium. But round 1 of match play complete here. Reno Classic, second round coming up 4 p.m. Eastern, which is 1 o'clock local time, so a little more than 2 hours. So we actually, as you mentioned, we have some options as far as getting some snacks in.
I'm gonna get a veggie omelet.
A veggie omelet.
Yeah,
that's aggressive.
Over at Millie's. Well, depending on what else we have to do, obviously, before that time does come.
But we do have Kelly just moments away from being all set here. So let's all right, let's bring her into the show. There we go. Hi, Kelly. Can you hear us?
I can, loud and clear.
Perfect. Well, hello. Great to see you once again.
Good to be back in Reno. Good to be back on the lanes.
Absolutely, Kelly. You started the day off in 7th place, and you've you took care of business. You were winning matches. You're finding ways to continue to move up the leaderboard. You've moved into the top 4. Just talk us through what you saw today and what allowed you to be successful over the course of the 6-game block.
Well, I really feel that the majority of the players in this round of 12 have a lot of high rev rate and are more straighter through the front. So when the ladies start to break them down right at the edge of that cliff, like 12, 13, 14, we're just going to continue to chase it left. And that's where I think majority of the players feel most comfortable. So I saw the lanes really well. It's really just trying to control the mid lane. You still, because it's 37 feet, have to miss to the right some way and get the ball to come back. But there's women that are deeper than I am, even faster out the gate, but it definitely plays more towards my A game.
Did you see some similar things yesterday in round 2? And especially after the slow start to round 1, the quick rebound in round 2, did you see some similarities there?
Great question, Emil. Yes, I did. From the practice session, the back ends were much cleaner and crisp. So the ladies could just throw it to the spot and let it peel off. They went to shinier stuff. But yesterday, because the women scored better from playing in, everybody started migrating there in the beginning of that second block. So because all of us started deeper, it also developed more in front of us. So we could just get steeper through the front. So for the right-handers, more further left. Still try to target that breakpoint area somewhere around 7 or 8, right around the indicator mark down there, about 40 feet. And again, I think it really played into all the ladies that are out here today in that round of 12, just to their comfort zone all the way through.
One of the things Emil had brought up while we were kind of watching, did it feel overall that everyone kind of jumped left to start compared to maybe what we saw in the first few rounds, or was it kind of still on pace for the starting point for a lot of the players you saw out there today?
I think 80% of us could start in that 14, 15, 16 zone. You have those outliers. I mean, Stephanie Zavala obviously is so far left. Daria Payok too as well. So there's those few outliers that once we get into their zone, it's going to make it more wishy-washy, just kind of over-underish. But I think majority of the players still want to stay to the right, break them down, out to in, and develop the pattern for all of us. It's just a few tricky pairs. There weren't many women that used urethane, whereas yesterday they did. We created some hang spots down the lane. And I don't feel that was the case this morning. I really feel like we all started in the right zone, not intentionally, just because it came to us that more clear. And then, of course, those outliers, we just have to try to catch them when we do see them.
Kelly, obviously not your first go around. We got another round to go before we even start thinking about making the show. But what are the keys for you, the things you need to focus on to give yourself the best chance in this last round of match play coming up?
The scores for me personally this morning were not very high. I had that big game out of the gate, but then they kind of paced 220-ish, but I won 5 out of 6 matches. So really, it kind of seems nostalgic, but control the pocket, really do. Make the spares. I missed a few key single pin spares that I think could have elevated me even further up in the step ladder right now. But just the mindset is stay focused, stay controlled, look and see what you're seeing, try to react to it. And I've been told recently I'm too technical, so I'm trying just to make it all about, throwing it from point A to point B, staying clear-minded, and just enjoying being out here.
Well, Kelly, I think you should just keep on doing what you're doing because it's
Yeah.
certainly working out there. But thank you for joining us here on Bull TV. Enjoy the break, rest up, and get ready. Fuel up for this next round, and we look forward to seeing if you can hold that spot on the show. So best of luck the rest of the way out, and we'll see you soon right here on Bull TV.
Will do. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you,
Thanks,
fans
Kelly.
out there watching.
Thanks, Kelly. All right. Kelly Kulick joining us here on Bull TV, getting some thoughts from the Hall of Famer prior to the final round upcoming here, Mr. Williams, in just 2 hours.
I'm sorry, I'm watching Kelly maneuver. What was the question? Sorry.
We got to talk to Kelly Kulick, so that was cool.
That was cool.
And then we get to bowl again in 2 hours. Well, we don't, but we get to participate in bowling or watching bowling in 2 hours. So
Yes, we do. I'm happy that she was able to come on because, no one really kind of breaks you down like Kelly in that sense. And I think you got a firsthand view on how she saw the lanes both yesterday in the morning and then the afternoon and then this morning as well, along with the rest of the field. We talked about rev rate a little bit today, and she said about 80% of the players in this field right now would be considered along the higher rev rate, which, while we were talking about it earlier in comparison sakes, it does play a role on the lanes clearly. The players are going to start in different areas based on that rev rate. So, Kelly alone, one of those players, got comfortable. And also was very honest about missing some single pins, which cost her some pins, obviously, and she could be a bit further higher up in the standings. So she'll try to minimize those mistakes and see if she can hold on to that spot. And others obviously will be doing the same and then trying to make some runs. There's going to be some aggressive moves, I think, for those who are not in the show and trying to do some things that perhaps they didn't do. Maybe throw some different bowling balls that they hadn't tried yet to try to give them an early advantage and get the scores higher. So we'll see how it all breaks down.
Absolutely. And once again, that breakdown, 4 p.m. Eastern, one local time here at the National Bowling Stadium, the final round of match play at the Reno Classic before the stepladder finals taking place tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. 4 players are going to make the show, vie for the title right here on BullTV.com. Before we sign off for today, a big thank you to USBC, BPWA, and their board of directors for their continued support of the PWBA Tour. Kegel, our official lane maintenance provider out here on the PWBA Tour. Of course, the athletes for the show they continue to put on each and every week across this entire year, across every season. So a big thank you to the athletes. And of course, all you great folks here on Bull TV. Congratulations to Kenneth, taking home a Bull TV t-shirt as well. We'll have some more giveaways coming up throughout the course of the day. But folks, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Emil is writing again. I finally saw the note he had yesterday. So, hi, Shanice, Trey, and Zoe. He's got a new one here. I'm not sure where this one's coming from. But, folks, for Jason Thomas, Curtis Von Kruger, Emil Williams Jr., I'm Aaron Smith. We're signing off from Bull TV and the PWBA Reno Classic. We'll see you in a couple hours right here. BullTV.com, the place to be. Tell your friends. And remember, as always, on Bull TV, bowling lives here. We'll see you soon.